video twice now, and I'm kind of done. So, I'm gonna make this one short and sweet. I told you guys I would do a better video when I got home. I'm tired of watching this damn thing. Things I thought that were really interesting and that I wanted to talk a little bit more about. First off, the language that she used. I know what I'm worth. What was the other one? Is basically, I know what I'm worth. I know my value. Something has occurred or something has been said by Feline that makes Amber feel like Feline does not value her as a person. Now remember, ego. Amber has an inflated ego. Amber has a very high idea of herself. I think she has very low self-esteem. These things are not necessarily the same, and they can be independent and usually are of each other. But she thinks very highly of herself, but at the same time has a very low self-esteem, and that's very evident if you're watching years of this. So there's that. I really would like to know what happened there, because something Feline has done has triggered Amber. I am of the camp, and I think I'm the only person in the camp. I think this is genuine. I think when she says it was a mutual breakup, I think she's being honest. I think that I don't think she initiated it. I think maybe Feline started it, and I think Amber went, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And after that happened, this is what we get. So I do think it was a mutual breakup, but I don't think it was necessarily initiated by Amber. I think something, just from the language that's being used, something Feline has done has set her off. And it is something Amber finds kind of unforgivable, obviously, if she's willing to break up over it. There's been a lot of speculation out there, and I like some of it, I don't like some of it, but the reality of the situation is we don't have any evidence one way or the other, so it's speculation. It's just still speculation. What I just got done saying is complete speculation. I have no idea why they broke up. I'm sure we'll know down the road, probably in the next week or two, but yeah, that's what I think. Something happened. I think Feline did something or said something or got caught doing something, and I think maybe Feline initiated, and Amber was like, yeah, cool, let's do that. There's so much going on here with the whole, like, oh, we still love each other, we're still friends, we're still, she's the other part of me. I think she's said that about, like, most of her girlfriends when they break up with her. I'm almost positive she said that about Destiny. So there's that. I think it's interesting, just kind of as an off tangent, or whatever, is that Amber has to be perceived as being the friend of all of her exes. Like, every single one of her exes' breakups that I have witnessed, either through Retro Reacts or even the Becky breakup, which was the one I was here for, she's tried to convince us that they are going to still be friends. And I mean, how long after Becky and her had completely separated was she still going, no, Becky and I are still friends, we still talk, we still hang out? So it's very important to her that she be perceived as the kind of person that can stay friends with her exes. Some people successfully do that. Some people do not. No judgment either way. I am in the camp of, I don't typically stay friends with the people I break up with because it's awkward, but I'm an awkward turtle. I have friends who their best friends really are their exes. They were not good together, but they're really great as friends. It happens. I don't think that's what's happening with Amber. What was the last thing that I really wanted to cover? Oh, at one point she says, I know what I'm worth. She's going on about, like, I know what I'm worth, or I like, basically whatever. She's back on the I'm worth something tangent. But then she says, sometimes I pretend like I hate myself. And that really stuck out to me because how many times have we heard Amber do the whole like, oh, nobody hates me more than I hate myself. You guys just think I like myself. I really hate myself. Deep down, I really don't like myself. I've always suspected that there might be a kernel of truth in there because nobody likes themselves 24/7. Like, even a person with high self-esteem has things about themselves they don't like. I have never fully believed any of those statements when she makes them. Um, because she demonstrates to me that she has a very high opinion of herself. And, that whole goes back to the whole thing. Amber has to be the hero. She either has to be the hero, has to be the victim, or has to be the know-it-all. If she's the hero, she can do no wrong. If she's the victim, wrong has been done to her, and she is innocent and pure. And the know-it-all is the person that everyone turns to, who has the highest, biggest brain is best brain, and Amber has the biggest brain. Those are not traits, in my opinion. Those are not traits of people who have low self-esteem. When I have encountered people with low self-esteem, or low self-worth, those are not traits that I see them do. So, personal experiences here. Was that the last bit? Oh, the bed part. If it's true that she and Feline are not sharing a bed, I'm kind of skeptical if Feline is even there. But here, my point being, if it is true that she is the one who is telling Feline to stay out of the bed, which I am more likely to believe if Amber really did, if this really is a mutual breakup, I think it's a great sign of personal growth for her. Because this would be the first girlfriend that she's broken up with that she hasn't somehow convinced to continue to sleep in the same bed with her. I think that's weird, but again, personal opinion. But if this is true, I think there's a little bit of growth here, a little tiny bit, a little step forward for her. We'll see what comes of it, but it is what it is. Was that everything I wanted to touch on? Give me just 1 second to think. So I wanted to talk about the value thing. I wanted to talk about the self-value and something leading up to that. I wanted to talk about the... Oh, I'm not going to go back and play it anymore. Mainly because, again, I've recorded this video twice, and B, I don't want to watch this anymore. She switches. This video, there are actual genuine moments where she is truly upset. And I know there's a lot of people out there like, oh, she's faking the whole thing. She's not. She's genuinely upset in certain parts of this. And honestly, it's the majority of this video that she's genuinely upset. But she will go from being genuinely upset to thinking on her feet, to making shit up. And she will just, that fast. It's really impressive, I think is what I'm coming. It is very impressive because she's upset. She's on the verge of tears, if not actually crying. I don't know. She may not have tear ducts. Everybody's like, oh, all of this crying but no tears. Some people do that. Maybe she doesn't have tear ducts. She doesn't have to ugly cry to be crying. But she will go from that. What was it? Oh, the I'm in shock part. That's one where she just switches. She's actually upset, and then she goes, I think I'm just in shock. She's totally switched. She's this I think I'm in shock part. That's completely made up. I think she's trying to get sympathy. I mean, this whole thing is to get sympathy. But, I think she's coming up with what would make them be more sympathetic. Oh, if I was, so overwhelmed by this that I'm in shock. It just goes like that. There's other parts where she just switches so fast. Again, I'm not going to go back and point them out. But, all right, this is a 9-minute video. I did want to do another rune reading because last night's was so damn successful. So, give me a second to switch the cameras around and because I want you guys to be able to see the plate, and yeah, then we'll get straight into that. So cool. So I wanted you guys to be able to see this, and I didn't want to have to do like I did last time. Look, I can learn. So, come on, guys. Everybody load up. All right, so I wanted to do another spread, another, it's not a spread, another casting, just to see what we get. So, because I'm really interested in what this evaluation thing is. I want to know about this video. Is she moving? Like, what is this moving thing about? What is this breakup about? Like, tell me dirty secrets. All right, so let's be a little bit more specific here. I want to know what's going on right now. We're probably going to get stuff that we already know here. Yeah. I don't want any health information. I just want to know what's going on with her social and love life. Okay, what have we got? Give me a second. Kana. Ooh. He goes over here all by the lonesome. Oh. Seen some. So this is very close to the center. I think I mentioned that in the last one. Let's see. Can't see all of them. Just want you to be able to see. Whatever, that one's over. You can't see that one anyway. Alright, so we got T-Wise here, and he's pointing towards the center. We got Hegel over here by the lonesome. Can you guys see? Yeah, so we got Dagaz and Isa over here. This is Gibbo and Manas. We had Manas last time. Manas is the rune of humanity. It can also be a rune of self. Usually, though, it's talking about people around you. So, because man is the joy, mirth and joy, while he is in his times. And remember I mentioned that, like, the further out you get is the further out the outer world, and the closer you get is the more inner. So this is really close. So Amber's really in herself right now. She's really she's very concentrated on herself, which, you know, she just broke up with somebody. This over here we've got Jira, which is the harvest. Basically, you reap what you sow throughout the year. And we've got Rakana over here kind of pointing toward it. Rakana, people like to translate that as being a rune of birth and pregnancy. The verse in... I don't feel like the runic verse really translates that way. But it does describe a tree that does not make seed yet still has green boughs, implying that the tree still finds a way to grow and prosper even though it doesn't have any evident seed, which means for me, it means it's like coming from the outside. So this is a rune of outward projection of inward power, but it's pointing towards Jira. And then there's this neat little cluster right here. This is really interesting because this is strength. This is usually the rune of the home because it usually has to do with keeping a home properly, keeping it within the laws of the gods, basically. Zawal is a victory rune. It's a sign of the sun, but it's also like, you know, it's like revelation. It's the sun. It's not like the tarot card. But it's also a happy rune. Tiwaz is a guiding rune. It's actually a star they're mentioning. This actually refers to a star, but it's pointing directly towards Hegel. And last time we talked, I mentioned that this is, for lack of a better term, this is the tower. And it's interesting that A, it's popped up again, and B, that the path, the star is pointing towards it. This is about guidance. You can follow the path and it will always lead you true. And it's pointing directly at Hegel. And there's nothing else over here. Also, this isn't cut off from anything this time. It's quite open right through here. Manas is a little isolated. which makes sense because I feel that she's pulling in. Um, so I think there's something else coming up, and I think she's walking right into it. So that'll be interesting to see. But or make well, I asked about what was going on. So somebody walked into this. Somebody walked into this. This almost looks like a harmonious home situation, but then you've got Uruz in there, and um, again, that's the bull in the china shop, or it can be somebody who's very powerful, very, very prideful, even. So, and you see, it's very close to Othla, and so, or Othla. Um, for me, that's kind of saying that maybe somebody was trying to rule the home with an iron fist. But then we've got Swal over here. Where's Walu? And we've got Rakana facing away from the home and pointing towards Jira, which is usually it can, without anything else around it, it usually has a positive meaning because, again, it's the harvest. You're reaping what you've sown, and typically it means you have sown seeds that have grown, and now you are gaining whatever the hell you grew, often food. But this is kind of implying that no seeds were planted. This is kind of implying that everything that's being reaped was something that was projected outward from the self. And it's facing completely away from the home, which also means it's facing away from this rune of strength. So that's interesting. Again, we've got Manasel by himself. This is Gabo. Gabo is, lots of people like to make it the rune of partnerships, but the verse, again, doesn't imply that. It implies it's a gifting rune, and it's learning how to give and receive gifts, which gifting was very important to Old Norse society, to the point where laws actually had to be made about gifting because people would use it as social leverage and basically blackmail. Oh, remember that time that I gave you that thing? Yeah. Which, knowing Amber's background kind of makes this one. Usually it has a positive connotation because it means that you will be getting something or giving something. But it could also be, with the history of that, this could be representing Amber's, what is that called? When you buy people's love. Anyway, that's could be what it's implying. We've got Degaz over here with Isa, and Isa can be translated as a rune of illusions because it's also a rune of, it literally translates as ice. But the verse implies that things that are frosted are very pretty. They appear very beautiful, but they're made of ice. So they look very nice, but they're basically without value because it's just ice. It's an illusion. And it's right next to Degas. And Degas is, remember, it's a rune of the day. I mean, that's the name of it. And but it's a message. It's usually translated as a divine message. But it could be a message from someone up high on power. But with Isa here, it could be false information. Somebody lied. And I mean that you can draw a line here, but I mean you can draw a line between any 2 points really if you want to. I don't want to go this far, honestly. That's pretty by itself. This is interesting, and so is this, because this and anything else I would have read, I would translate this as being a strong home, a strong, strong, productive, harmonious home. But then we've got this. It's like the harvest is empty because there wasn't anything planted. So something that she thought was going to blossom and bloom and become something is not. And I mean, we can directly translate that to be the breakup. Like she did say, I was making plans. We both were. Amber always makes plans. Amber falls in love at the drop of a hat, and as soon as she falls in love, they're going to be together forever, and they're going to adopt 1,000,000 cats, and they're going to live on 5 acres of land, and they're going to have 19 kids. She just starts writing stories as soon as she falls in love with somebody. So this could be implying that, that dream that she built in her head without any reason to has been shattered. There is a gap here. There is some distance. Um, this is really interesting. This path, this walking straight into the trouble. Remember in the last one, I was like, there's a message she's not getting. There's some information she's not getting, and I think maybe this was it. And she's walked straight into this. Hegel does have the inverse of the the hailstones melt into water and implying that it returns to the earth and it's nourishing the earth because it's water. It's making the earth fertile. Um, but it's blocked off from this, so it's not part of this. But it is definitely part of this. Uh, and this has nothing to do with that. This is not leading into that. And Manus is about as turned away from everybody as I could get it. So she's very isolated right now. But she's isolated, she's self isolated. And she did mention she has no one to turn to, which is a very sad statement, especially since she was just last episode trying to convince us that she had a new male friend. So obviously some guy is actually imaginary, which, again, no one should be surprised by. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Um, somebody lied, and it's somebody that I think this Feline lied. Feline's lied about something major, because this is that gifting. She's given Feline a lot, and more importantly, she's given her heart. She even stated that. But so I think I don't usually translate this as a rune of partnership, but I think in this situation it is. I think Feline lied. I think Feline created some empty promises that are not going to come true. I think Amber finally got wise to it. And it could be because she's so isolated. And maybe that's it. Maybe Jade was keeping her isolated. We don't know. Because we've got this home here. And there's this strong outside force affecting the home itself. And then we've got Swamp. So maybe it was working out for whoever this is. Because this isn't Amber. It never has been Amber. This Uruz has never been Amber. It wasn't Amber in the last reading. It's not her now. And so this person is affecting the home. And I think this person has been ruling up until this point. And again, it looks like an iron fist kind of thing. My way or the highway kind of a thing. Empty promises. And Amber walks straight into it. Well, and she wanted to. Amber falls in love quickly. Amber wanted to believe that this was this. She wanted to believe whatever this was. And she put up with this. And it's right there. And yeah, we've got some lines over here. This is all speculation. This is just my rune reading. If you see something else or you think it translates some other way, please let me know. Be civil about it, and we can agree to disagree. It's okay. We can be adults. Or you might have a really interesting take on it that might actually make more sense. But this is what I'm seeing, especially given the video, which I directly asked it about. So, 1 and 1 make 2. This isn't pretty. Normally these runes would be, to a degree. This would always be something deceptive here. Or even, if this wasn't involved, this could be a message to slow down, take a breath, relax, chill for a second. But just like the vibe I'm getting off of Gabo this time, that whole like sinister side of gifting, of hospitality. Hospitality usually is a good thing, but hospitality can be weaponized, if that makes sense. And I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, I'm willing to settle on all of that. I'm willing to settle on that right now. Yeah, that's That's what's making the most, that's what's vibing with me the most. You have another interpretation, feel free. I'm always open to learn new things or just discuss things. Runes are always open for discussion. So, that's all I wanted to do today. I just wanted to talk about, please tell me I hit record this time. Oh, thank God. I just wanted to talk about, sorry. I just wanted to talk about the video. The things that I thought were most interesting to me when I watched it 19 times in a row. And I really wanted to do another rune casting just to see what the hell was going on. A lot of people have been speculating that Feline lied. If you've watched Kicking Geese, she pulled some cards, and it kind of backs up this idea that Feline was somehow the instigator. Something Feline did is what is the cause of this. I think it's an outright lie. I think she lied about something to Amber, and Amber, this is like the self-worth part, like, I know what I'm worth, I know my value. I think we're getting this because she feels like she has put more of herself into this than Feline is, or had. And there are some definitely, I feel like there's some definite empty promises going on over here. So yeah. This is the only one I'm like kind of not entirely positive on. There's definitely something about the home here and about a strong personality within the home. Again, it's pointing away, so it's not Amber. And this wall's just throwing me. I don't know exactly what to do there. So, it is vaguely separated, but not completely separated. So, it's not completely isolated by itself. Anyway, that's all I wanted to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. See, last time I did a thumbs up. I don't really know what to do with these. Oh, I guess, isn't there a broken heart emoji? I mean, it's obvious, but why don't we put the broken heart emoji down in the comment section if you just want to, like, add a comment, but you don't really have anything to say. I understand. Please remember to like and subscribe. You guys have really bolstered my channel a lot faster than I was expecting. So I truly appreciate that. I just really, truly appreciate that. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you in the next one. And I don't know when the next one's going to be, but Amber will post something, and I'll see you guys then.